Where's that?
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to our investors for spending a little bit of time with us this morning. My name is Andrew Kumar. I'm here with Julie Baker, Doreen Magui, and Shannon Scott, and we are representing the Lima Links Market Information System started by International Development Enterprise. So we're going to go through a little experience here talking about what the enterprise is, how we got there, who we're working with, how we're going to deal with it, what we need to get this job done, and what kind of value we create, as well as what we're looking for in terms of partnership and investment. But before we do that, let's just watch a quick introductory video. Small plot vegetable farmers in Zambia experience up to 30% price fluctuation as they take their produce to market. These conditions cause up to 50% of vegetables to go to waste and farmers to miss income opportunities. The situation farmers face is caused by a lack of up-to-date information on market prices, product availability, and weather that affects transportation and production. But Lima Links has the solution. After lots of research and interviews in the field, Lima Links developed a service that delivers market information and more through text messages on simple mobile phones. This information allows Zambian farmers to get better prices and have a better quality of life. Through this system, Lima Links helps reduce vegetable waste and transportation costs, thus lessening the environmental impact. Our team is exploring business models to make this triple bottom line service that can be run by locals for a profit to the benefit of all. So you have a basic idea of what the problem is, but really what we're focusing on is the relationship of market agents and farmers in the vegetable value chain. There's serious informational asymmetry, and farmers don't really know what's going on at the market, and therefore market agents end up taking advantage of them. So what we've determined is that there's a system that can produce that information and incentivize participation by both parties. What, of course, is that system? It's Lima Links, as you might have guessed. So it looks a little bit different. More market agents produce that information they collected at the market, put it into the Lima Links system, goes through simple cell phones where lots and lots of farmers have access to that information. Then there's a little bit more transparency. Why would market agents do this? Because they have access to a greater number of farmers. So they may be getting a more standardized piece of the pie, but they're getting access to far more pies through which to make money. So why did we choose Zambia? We have partners there, A. B, it's really tough to do business there. Supply chain management is a bit of a nightmare. Farmers aren't getting the price that they need or the wages that they want. And our project is scalable, it's measurable, and it's impactful. What do we need to make this happen? Well, we need partners. Fortunately, we've got Bill and Melinda Gates backing us. We've got a stable network. We know that market prices and network prices are decreasing. And all we need left is a partner like you to help us take this into the future.
So in June, the four of us had the opportunity to spend a month in Zambia. While we're there, we were able to meet firsthand with some of our farmers and get a little bit of a feel of what's going on in Zambia. From a political aspect, there's no regulations within the market. That is why these agents exist. Farmers can't just go to the market, drop off their product, and sell it. They have to go through an agent. A little bit of corruption goes on in politics there, in the market and out, which kind of makes this a little bit more difficult. Economically, there's 3 mobile network operators. This is what's keeping the costs high right now to do any type of mobile operations, which has been one of the challenges for any app company coming into Zambia. There is talks of a 4th and 5th phone company coming in, which will reduce costs in the future. Farmers currently aren't making a lot of money, and it's quite expensive to live in Zambia. You walk into a grocery store in Zambia, you're paying prices very similar to what we were paying in the United States. Socially, as Andy discussed, relationships are tense. There's not a lot of trust because no one really knows what prices are being sold in the market. Technology, there is an extremely high mobile rate for people using cell phones, somewhere between 60 and 80%. And the cell phones, while they are quite simple, can easily accommodate Lima Links. So the farmers, the competition for us is very lax. There actually is no direct competition. Currently, prices are reiterated through word of mouth, or sometimes people will make a phone call to call from the market to a farmer or vice versa. But as I mentioned earlier, making phone calls can be very expensive due to the lack of competition between mobile network operators. In the future, there's the ZNFU, which is the Zambian National Farmers Union, currently does have an app that works with farmers and prices in the market, but they only work with cash crops, and they haven't been able to touch the vegetable market, nor have they expressed a lot of interest. ZNFU is about 2 weeks behind on getting their prices out to the farmers, which makes it a very unusable tool for them, and the fluctuation within vegetables is much different than that of the cash crops. So we don't see a lot of competition from them. Isoko and N-Farms are not in Zambia yet, and they work more with commercial crops, so we don't see them coming in anytime soon either. So who exactly are these farmers and agents? These farmers are small shareholder farmers that usually have less than 2 hectares. They make less than $5 a day, and there's approximately 470 farmers that are vegetable specific only, but we do expect that number to grow, and we'll go into that in a minute. And what do these farmers want? Like Andy said earlier, they want transparency. They want to know what their tomatoes are being sold at the market, so they know what kind of return they should be getting. They want to know what the market demand is. They need to know inventory levels. Most importantly, they want to be able to trust with their agents. A lot of people like to have long-term relationships with their agents, and trust is a key component in that. And what do the agents want? The agents want more farmers. More farmers equals more money. They want a tool where they can keep records of their sales, which is one of the abilities of Lima Links, and they want trust as well, and they also want more technology, which is what Lima Links is able to provide for them. So our addressable market right here, currently in Zambia, there's 5.9 agricultural households. Of those that are vegetable specific only, there's about 2,000 vegetable farmers. We're expecting a 2% market capture, which puts us at 9,000 farmers in our first year. Luckily for us, through our networks with iDE, we already have over 4,000 farmers in our pilot phase that are using Lima Links. Over the next 5 years, we expect our addressable market to grow to just over 500,000. And if we can get a 10% market capture, that gives us 51,000 farmers in our database. Our business model, we're looking at a subscription-based business model. We're looking at charging farmers $2 a month to access this, the real-time market information. This tool will be free for market agents because they are the ones who are enumerating the product, who are enumerating the prices and inputting it into the phone. That way, Lima Links doesn't have to pay for people to go into the market and get accurate pricing, which is one of our competitive advantages. We're utilizing the iDE network, as they have farmer business associates throughout the country currently right now who are all involved in Lima Links in one way or another. And we're also banking on the simplicity of use and the fact that we have farmers who in the pilot stage have validated that they find the product to be beneficial.
Thanks, Shannon. I'd now like to introduce you to the Lima Links team, starting with Nimwea Mudvali, who's the project manager of Lima Links. She'll be developing the project roadmap and handling the activities related to the launch and operations. She has a monitoring and evaluation background, and so having that experience as the project manager is really key because the value of Lima Links is fundamentally going to be found in the value of the data. And so having not only the project manager, but also the Lima Links team as a monitoring and evaluation expert will be really valuable for the project moving forward. She's also worked with iDE in the past, so she's not new to the team and not new to the company. Duncan Rind is the iDE Zambia country director and the Lima Links liaison. iDE is also a key partner who's been working with smallholder farmers for over 30 years. Duncan was born in Zambia and has spent the last 10 years working with iDE and has a very strong network and intense knowledge of the area that he's able to provide. In addition, he's been coordinating the funding and providing the big North Star compass of where Lima Links is going, as well as coordinating with the farmer business advisory groups. Matthew DeGale is our technical advisor who's coordinating the development of the technical components of Lima Links. He works at Praekelt Foundation, which is another key partner located in South Africa, who is handling the technical platform and hosting services. Moving on, we have our extremely serious GSSE MBA team. We have been working with Lima Links for a year and spent a month, as Shannon said, in Zambia conducting field work for our recommendations to Lima Links in terms of business valuation and model recommendations. In terms of our operations, I'm going to talk about the backstage, so kind of what goes on behind the scenes as well as the front stage. In terms of the backstage, this is really happening in the Lima Links office that's being hosted at iDE or in South Africa, in which we're activating farmer and agents accounts, getting them into the system. A lot of database actions happening where we're actually aggregating that market pricing information and then sending it out into text to farmers, collecting the subscription fee, and then of course getting the marketing and evaluation, the monitoring and evaluation tools to make sure that the data is quality, and then scheduling marketing and trainings. From the front end, in terms of what the community is really going to be seeing, it's going to be a lot of demonstrations showing the value of Lima Links, being able to work with farmers and showing how the price is actually representative of the market, as well as training agents and lead farmers, and then of course the actual entering of the market pricing information by the market agents. Doreen's going to talk to you about finances.
Yes, so for our financials, we came up with quite a bit of assumptions, but we decided to highlight just a few here for the sake of time, of course. And the first assumption is that farmers' subscription fee, like Shannon was saying, is going to be $2 a month. The farmers that we talked to on the ground that are involved in the pilot program are actually told us that they were willing to pay about $4 a month. But since this is a social enterprise and we want to make sure that we're including all the farmers, so we're going to have it at $2 a month. The agricultural households, we are assuming that that's going to be growing at 2% per year, which makes our market capture also growing at 2% every year. And farmers will be able to access Lima Links 3 times a week. The potential competitor that we were talking about, they're only updating the information every twice a month. So we're thinking 3 times a week, that's definitely a competitive advantage. And of course, this would not be possible without the Bill and Melinda Gates grant of $283K. And these are our projected financial cash flows. And the first thing you see here is that we don't have any financing. Lima Links is not intending on getting any more loans, grants, anything. The $283K is what's going to take us through the first 5 years. And you can see with the ending period every year up until year 5, we are in the black. So that's a good sign. And of course, at the end, what we are intending to do is sell the company off. So we did a company valuation 2 ways. First way was by cash flows, 3 times the cash flows. By year 5, the assumption is that the company is going to be worth about $2.5 million. The second valuation we did was by net present value, and we used the discount rate, a lower and a higher end based on the market averages in the region. And you can see there the company is still worth a little bit over $1 million. And at the end, the final goal here is to sell this company off to any company that is interested in communicating with smallholder farmers. And this could be your MFIs, agricultural input companies, your seed sellers, fertilizer companies, anybody that you see up here. We can even the government, anybody that is interested in communicating with smallholder farmers, they can be a potential purchasing partner.
Thanks, Doreen. So we've seen a little bit into how much money we can make. We've seen who we're dealing with. Let's talk a little bit about impact. To keep things simple, we're just going to talk about this in terms of actual income generated, both for the company, which at the end of our 3-year period is about $3.5 million, and then for both farmers and market agents represents an increase of about 2 years worth of salary over the 5 years that they're active. So instead of making 5 years worth of revenue, they make 7 years worth of revenue in 5 years. That's a significant gain. For farmers, that's $3,600. And for market agents who are already well paid, that's almost $30,000. It's really important to keep those market agents incentivized so that they don't slip back into their sort of old patterns. So we're confident that this is a model that they can support. So we've seen kind of who we're dealing with, what the impact is, how much money we can make, and what we need to make this happen. We're confident that we can work out a deal sometime in the next few years with investors like you, negotiate some terms that are mutually beneficial, and make sure that we can drive this impact and make a little bit of money together. If you guys have any questions, we're happy to field them for you.
So you don't need any more money. Not that I have any, but.
Right. Yeah, we don't currently need any more money to keep operations going, but what we're hoping to find is a partner to buy in with us after 5 years or sometime in that period, since we're driving so much value for our end users as well as turning the profit already.
Similar to the Embark situation, iDE wants to be able to focus on iDE social mission stuff, and they would like to be able to release Lima links into the public and have it be, make money, sell it for a profit and have it become its own standing business, and then iDE can continue to do what they do.
Is anyone paying right now for the service? Is it gone live?
It's in the pilot phase. Nobody's paying it, but they'll start from this coming year.
So you're just getting ready to start collecting the $2 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And how confident are you that farmers, that you will hit these growth targets, farmers will pay the $2 a month? I mean, how many interviews with farmers did you have? And what was the response?
We based a lot of that on the research that was done before we went into the field. There were 75 interviews done with people's willingness to pay for these types of apps. Of the farmers we spoke to said they're willing to speak to this, willing to pay for this. We were in the market, and when you watch just for the couple hours we were there, you can see in a few hours what's really going on there. I mean, there's a lot of, and I paid this and I paid that, and you can literally watch the seediness going on. And the farmers in the field, and they know what's going on, but what can they do about it? So they were really excited about this. I mean, they got extremely emotional when interviewing them, talking about, please give us something so that we can trust our agents, because it's just a very unique relationship, especially when your agent's your cousin, or, how that whole supply chain thing happens in certain countries.
It was also interesting as, when we'd ask farmers, around what you'd be willing to pay, would you want it for free? We constantly were being shut down saying, no, don't give it to us for free. If it's for free, we won't necessarily see it as a legitimate business. So it seems like there is some level of having the skin in the game, and the farmers we were speaking to were like, we want to be able to invest in this.
And, I know they're still developing it, but do you know what a farmer would see? Is it come in a form of a text message every week, or do they have to actively make a query?
So it's built on the USSD, so unstructured supplementary syntax. So it's kind of a drill down menu. So pretty much they can go to, they can send a number, and they'll get the menu back, and then they could drill down and say, okay, in Lusaka market, tomatoes are going for this amount.
Okay.
And then I think one of the things we're hoping to do as we move forward with the service is incorporating text that could go out that provide relevant information.
Okay.
Supplement that with like weather information, like there's like, oh no, army worms are coming through, make sure that you talk to your MRI seed or agro dealer to get these types of pesticides to protect yourself. So there are definitely ways to use this system to add value, and of course we're going to hopefully get to a web-based system as the market demands it.
So I'm thinking, you show me actual customers, I invest. So is there a strategy to give it away or discount it to get some early customers in?
Well, that's kind of where the pilot was, is we were giving it away during the sort of soft launch to drive interest. And since we already have like a very well-established network of FBAs through International Development Enterprise, which are farm business advisors who have been pushing this, I don't think that we're going to need to give away any more than we already have. This is something that's needed now, and people have expressed a willingness to pay for it.
And actually, when we were there over the summer, the service had been suspended for a little bit, and the farmers that we talked to were pretty upset. And they kept asking, when is this coming back? Because we really see the value in it, and we want to keep working with Lima Links.
Oh, you should stage a national strike. Give us our Lima links back. Because I have a few more. But...
Yeah, go ahead.
So, what is iDE? What is its longer term involvement in it? Are they going to run the thing until they sell it in 5 years?
Yeah, that's the general plan. They've got funding through the Gates grant for 3 years, and since they'll be cash flow positive at that point, and over the next few years, they'll be able to spend some time identifying a good purchasing partner. iDE's main goal is really to increase income of smallholder farmers. That's it. They're more tech focused, and this is an exploration for them. So for them to be able to sort of push this off onto someone else who can do a better job of it so they can focus on their main mission for technology is something that they're really, really hoping to do.
Okay. Thank you.